Okay, let's then circle back to that first scale page, and I just want to get just demonstrate a couple ways of playing, of how we might use that scale in a practical situation. So, for instance, on that first, the one distinctively and originally titled number 1, let's look at that example. And if I were to play that in contrary motion, let's say down to there, or even you see. So it's like fill kind of things, right? So first of all, we have the C6 diminished scale. We know C6, if we keep inverting it, looks like A minor 7 by the time we get to the third inversion. Okay? So now what you want to be keeping in mind is anything you want to be practicing on C major, it has at least 2 uses. Not only is it practicing C major stuff, but it's practicing A minor 7 stuff. And that's a really cool thing to think about and to just sort of incorporate into, how you think about this stuff as you're doing it. So if I maybe start off with an A in the bass, maybe I'll hit a 10th like that, A with the C on top. And make a movement like that. Now what did I do? Sorry. So I started with, I'm thinking A minor 7, and A minor 7 often goes to D7. That's what I'm thinking about. So here's A minor 7. We know it's C6. So being that these notes are of C6, I'll go right to diminished notes because I'm alternating. Okay? Back to the 6, diminished, 6, and now it's time to resolve to D7. Now I could hit D7 like that, and somebody might remember from the chord kind of equivalent chart what we're supposed to be thinking about for a D7th chord or a dominant 7th chord. We have 2 minor 6s, right, on the 5th, and the tritones minor, which is a half step above the dominant. Those are the 2 options. I'm thinking the one on the 5th. And so what I'm playing here is A minor 6. I've got the 3rd, I've got of A, I've got the, I've got the 6, I've got the 3rd, I've got the 5th. And actually I've cheated. Rather than having the tonic on top, I've put a diminished note, B. Okay, but I could easily have put the A on top too. So once again, I'm going to hit my A minor 7, reach in, and come back out in this contrary motion style. That would have the full A minor chord, 6, 3, 5 tonic on top. Okay? So that would be one thing you could be doing with this. Now, the truth is, if I wanted to go to the E flat minor 6, which would be the tritones minor, it's a very similar chord. That would be E flat minor with the 3rd in the bass. Right? So, actually, I believe somebody had asked this point. The question was about the 3rd example and why I had written play C6 to E flat minor 6 over the A minor 7 to D7. If everybody could just sort of scroll to that page for a minute, and I'm looking at the one at the bottom, number 3. And so, actually, that was kind of what I was just doing, right? That's the first bar. And so what I'm thinking, see, what you wind up doing, by the way, the brainwashing will start as soon as this first class is over. And so what you're going to start thinking, you're going to see A minor 7 to D7 on your lead sheet. But what you need to think, you sort of overlay the corresponding sixes onto that. So as your sheet might say A minor 7 to D7, you think of what the sixth possibilities are. So I know that one set of possibilities would be C6 to E flat minor 6, and that represents A minor 7 to D7. I could have put C6 to A minor 6, and that would have been a similar situation. But that's what why those chords are written there. And that's like that. Dean.
That was one of the few questions I had. So on that chord though, it has the A flats on top, and then so I know we have the minor third on on the bass, and then you have the sixth on the next note and the root. But then the F,
Yeah.
should that F be a flat, a F sharp or a G flat, and then the A flat? I was a little confused.
Well, it is.
Or is it a
Now,
six? I
okay,
thought it
the
was like an
truth
A flat
is,
six or something like that.
so I was hoping nobody would notice that, but being that you did, just kidding. Being that you did, let me explain that. So what's going on here is we have, if you think about E flat 6, and if you think about the diminished of this key, third above its dominant note, that would give you D, F, A flat, B. Okay? So if I hit C, E flat, F, A flat, I've kind of put together a combination chord, which by the way, a lot of chords are combination chords, including C major 7. The B is actually a diminished note of the key. And so this is two notes of E flat 6. I've got the 6 and the tonic. And these are two diminished chords, two diminished notes that go with the diminished of that key. And so, I can move them back like that.
Is that what Mr. Harris was talking about borrowing? Is that what he talked about borrowing from the diminished?
That's exactly right. That's the point.
Okay.
Borrowing from the diminished.
Oh, thank
And
you.
you
That
wind
so
up,
clarifies so much. Thank you so much.
oh, my pleasure. And I hope all the other questions are that easy to answer too. And so, yeah, you wind up, there's different layers and different add-ons to this thing, and we will go through borrowed notes as one of our lesson topics too in another lesson. But basically, this is a combination chord. So against D7, I've got two notes of E flat 6, and I've got two notes of the diminished of E flat 6. And while we're at it, while we're talking about this, there's something else that you could resolve out to here with this chord. Remembering about the diminished for D7, that would be F sharp diminished, right? So what I've got going here is actually, I could resolve back to the diminished of D7 as well. Okay, that's kind of another topic, but for now we can think that those notes are diminished notes of E flat 6. Okay? So that would be that's what I mean when I say that what we're after here is generating movement between the chords. It's almost like the beautiful stuff lies in between the main chord symbols, and it's up to you to figure out how to do that via scales.